Wait, no, put yourself back in. There you go. We'll be right back. All right, I think I cut it short.
That was good. Just the right spot.
Hey, everybody. We are a couple minutes late tonight, but for the live audience, for the pre-recorded, is it post-recorded? Well, for the podcast audience, we're right on time. So thank you for tuning in to us a day late after what was supposed to be an exciting Monday night that turned out to be a less than exciting Monday night for those of us in Philadelphia.
Yeah, they had some opportunities
Oh,
last night.
yeah.
They did not see through on.
No. So how was your weekend day?
It was good. It was good. It was busy. Lots of Phillies watching. Had a gig in there at Chambers 19. Always an awesome time there.
Nice.
And had a lot of sporting events and football games and soccer things and all of that to go to. It's totally my fault. We were running behind tonight. My kid had a practice that went long, and I usually have that all blocked out for Mondays. And then the Phillies screwed everything up for so many people yesterday. So,
yeah,
us included. That's all right though. But yeah, no, busy. Watched a bunch of stuff, as usual, and caught up on some things and finished some stuff, and that's where we're at. Waiting for the next round of shows to start up so I can get caught up on things. I need Doctor Who to come out because the trailers look so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know. It's okay.
I don't. Do you like?
But David Tennant is so good as the Doctor that I can't wait. How about you, man? What have you been up to?
Do you like our background? I found a new background. It's an AI generated thing, and I hate AI stuff. But in the program that we use to do the streaming, they have all kinds of new widgets and stuff that I'm starting to look around at.
Nice.
How about me? Let's see. I had a hockey game Friday night, and I was utterly dead for afterwards. And I was supposed to have a softball thing on most of the day Saturday, but it got canceled. That's Danny's. Danny does his softball thing.
Yeah.
Every year. Saturday night I went to place around the corner. What was it? The Originals, I think it is.
Just Originals.
The just Originals.
Just Originals. Yeah.
I went with a couple friends. We watched the Phillies, and then we are trying to figure out what to do afterwards. And we ended up at Thunderbird Lanes Bowling.
Oh, well, look at that.
Right? How's
that shoulder?
My arm is dead. And my feet were killing me. It was fun. But I haven't thrown a 12-pound bowling ball around like that in a long time. So 3 games of that was like, by the 3rd game, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, not a lot of support in those shoes either.
No
arch support in those bowling shoes.
No, but it was fun. We had a great time. And everything else is, I'm caught up on absolutely everything except the one thing that you like the most right now.
Great. That's exciting to hear.
It is. So no, I like we talked about last episode. I watched the first episode of Gen V, and it was really, really, really good. So I will, now that my week has kind of gone back to normal, except for at least tomorrow.
And tomorrow Thursday, right? So let's hope that we don't have a Saturday game is what I'm hoping for.
I thought it was Friday. I thought there was
no, because they travel. They get a travel day.
No, they don't go back to. Oh, they do go back to Atlanta. That's
yep.
Right. So now I think we're going to win the next 2. I really, really, fully, wholeheartedly believe this series ends in 2. The game last night was, we'll take a couple seconds. Up 4-0. And everybody's killing Harper for blowing past second base on that fly ball to Castellanos.
If he hadn't caught it, though, he'd be a hero.
But it's the right play. It was the right play. He made an absolutely amazing catch. And I hate to give the Braves any credit whatsoever. It was a hell of a comeback. And it sucks. But they're coming back here, and it's 3 hours of hell. Wednesday night, 3 hours of hell for
Yeah, it's going to be
them.
the Citizens Bank Park's going to be a lot for
And
anybody to do with.
the shortstop for Atlanta kinda chirped at Bryce Harper in the clubhouse after the game and gave some bulletin board material.
Oh,
When Harper got thrown out, he was walking back to his dugout going, "Attaboy Harper, attaboy Bryce Harper." So, that's made its way around social media, and
is that Riley?
no, it's, Arcia.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, the guy that's doing nothing this series anyway. So,
Yeah.
that all aside, um, it's good to be back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the
There's
writers'
some
strike is officially over. They ratified
fantastic.
everything. Contracts effective from September 25th, 2023 through May 1st, 2026. What
Oh,
is that?
dear God. Wait,
Yeah. We have 3 years.
so we get to go through all this again in 3 years?
Yep, and but the actors haven't ratified yet. So,
No. So apparently, last I heard on that, it is expected from when they started negotiations at this point to be a 4 to 5 week process.
nice.
So what that likely means for the actors, because Hollywood is basically shut down in December and most of November anyway,
Mhm.
is the studios will slow roll this negotiation until the last week in October, the first week in
Okay.
November, and then there still won't be any. They won't have to pay anybody till next year.
Eh, look, as long as stuff keeps coming out, that's all that matters, right? At this point for us.
For our content's sake, yes. For all of the people involved in the industry, this is horrible that it keeps getting slow rolled.
Yeah, it really is. Um, I'm gonna okay, so I don't have a ton because we have a couple finales we're gonna talk about, and you have some stuff. So instead of going through that big long list I had given you earlier, which we'll save for another time, I have to do this, and I haven't looked at this one yet.
Okay.
This is Screen Rant did the 15 best comedy movies of all time.
Screen
Have
Rant has been batting not well.
no, they're batting like the Atlanta Braves shortstop. They're
Yeah.
batting not great. So we're gonna jump. I'm gonna jump right in feet first at 15. Step Brothers.
Okay.
Eh,
So before we
go
keep
ahead.
going through the list, let me tell you how bad Screen Rant is doing.
Yeah.
So I read an article today
Mm.
about how You're the Best from Karate Kid was supposed to be in Rocky 3, but was not, which led to Rocky 3 instead choosing, again, this is the Screen Rant article, going
Oh.
with Eye of the Tiger by Scorpion.
Scorpion, huh? Wow, I haven't
The
heard that
article
quote yet.
mentioned that name 6 times
Oh,
about
so
how Scorpion wrote Eye of the Tiger. So
what?
Screen Rant's not doing great.
I I mean, once I can understand, but
Yeah.
maybe not
And
even once. Like,
nope.
okay, well, we'll see
Yeah.
how bad this list gets
I was
because
like, where do I go to comment on this? There's nowhere to comment. I was like, I just need to comment on it. Where's the but I want to click the button.
at 14 they have 1987's Raising Arizona, which I shockingly never saw.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's
I
also
know.
one of the first movies for some brothers. Is it the Coen brothers? I want to say it's the
It
Coen
is.
brothers.
It is. And
Raising
Joel
Arizona is one of my. I would put that up there. That movie's fantastic.
okay. Number 13, With Nail and I,
No,
1987?
no. I
No?
also don't know that Raising Arizona is fully a comedy. So,
Ah,
mm,
Richard E. Grant? My god, do you know where I know Richard E. Grant from? Hudson Hawk. How about
wow.
okay.
Okay.
12, Back to the Future?
No, I wouldn't consider that a comedy.
No, not so much, but
So this is just 15 movies the author of this article likes, is what I
I
think we're going with.
guess. Number 11, Team America World Police. That's a
Okay.
comedy.
Yeah, for people of a certain age, that is right up there.
Yep.
Mostly
Uh,
people my age, but I skipped that one. I think it was a few years younger than me is what really hit that.
I never watched it, but I watched the clips, the Matt Damon.
I mean, it was the guy, it was Trey and Matt from South Park. So
Right.
like, but they couldn't never top the South Park movie Bigger, Longer, Uncut. So I was out at that point. I was like, I'm good. I've seen everything I need to.
Jumping into the top 10, this is a little far down the list for me, but Blazing Saddles.
Well, depends on how old the person who wrote the article is.
That's true.
Because
It was a
the
19
fact that it made the list, if it's somebody of a certain age, is shocking.
It's a 1974 movie, so I was 3 years old.
I'm more meant from the content.
No, I know. Oh, I know, no, I know. It's not a movie that has a that is an easy watch today for some people
Yeah.
at all. Number 9, Doctor Strangelove.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, 1964, Stanley Kubrick. Number 8, Shaun of the Dead, the 2004.
100%.
Okay,
Not as good. Though,
never
not as
saw it.
good as Hot Fuzz.
Never saw it.
Oh,
I
they're
know.
both great.
Definitely didn't see number 7. Coming in at number 7, 2011's Bridesmaids.
Uh, nowhere near in the top 15 comedies of all time, but a fine movie.
I heard it was a very funny movie. Uh, Number 6, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which in most lists is in the top 3.
Yeah, 6 seems low for that.
Yeah.
Unless Life of Brian's above it, then we're good.
Well, we'll see. Here comes number 5, Naked Gun from the Files of the Police Squad, 1988. It's
Okay,
a very funny movie.
it is.
It's one of my favorites.
I mean, it's got OJ, it's got the Queen,
It's got OJ, it's got the Queen,
it's got Priscilla Presley.
got Leslie Nielsen. Number 4, This is Spinal Tap.
Okay, that's not a horrible spot for that.
Going to tell you, I just didn't.
Well, look, if it wasn't for This is Spinal Tap, you would not have The Office
That's true.
or
No,
any of the
I get
mockumentary shows.
no, I appreciate where it is in comedy. It just never and I guess because the one time I did watch it was in a van on the way to Boston.
Oh no, you need to see it like, and
Yeah,
especially, yeah, not in that distracted environment. You will appreciate so many things like Stonehenge,
the
so much
top
more.
the top 3, Groundhog's Day.
Okay,
Okay.
I wouldn't even put that. That would be barely in my top 3 Bill Murray comedies.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, but I don't know.
But I would Stripes and Ghostbusters. I mean, Stripes
Stripes
is
is way better.
way above that.
Way, 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 way better. Number 2, Some Like It Hot from 1959. I
Okay,
think an older person wrote this.
maybe feels like
And
it because there's nothing after 2011.
now and the number 1 movie, while it is a funny movie and I do enjoy it, Airplane may not be the most
Oh, I'd give it to Airplane.
for one, it be in
It's
my top 5 for sure.
out of this list,
Oh, this
100%
list?
Airplane is
Yeah.
the number 1 movie on this list.
Yeah, this list.
That's why I said I feel like this is just the top 15 movies of some sort that the guy saw on a video rack.
Yeah,
This was the top 15 comedies in my Netflix queue.
look, let me tell you that I have the 50, and we're not doing this now. I have the top 50 shows of the 21st century,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I went through this with the guys at work. You're gonna have a ball with this,
Oh, I can't wait.
and it's not now. But
I
that
mean, if
is
Smallville's not number 1, it's crap.
it's. I won't say anything. I'm not even giving you. I'm not. No, no,
I'm
no, no,
kidding.
no.
That's not even in my top 10, but it's,
It's not in the top 50.
it's fine. I'm sure Friday
So
Night Lights is though, so it's fine.
it actually is.
Yeah.
It actually is. Um, so we have some shows and stuff to talk about. We have some finales. We're probably going to do a tiny bit of a shorter show than normal. But which one? Where do you want to go first here? Like
Well, we have finales and premieres, right?
we have finales and premieres. Which way do you want to go first? I'll leave it up to you.
Let's go because I think people have either decided to watch it or not watch it at this point. Let's go Wheel of Time first.
Oh, good. Let
I want to
get your.
I want to let you be me.
Oh, boy. You go first. Go ahead.
Look, season 1 of this show I thought was fine and good.
Mhm.
And I was like, it was enough for me to want to watch season 2. Season 2 has been probably one of my favorite seasons of television in years. Because I do love the fantasy genre and it just hasn't really been done well in a while. And Game of Thrones ended so poorly. The last like 3 seasons of that really kind of soured that to me, but I thought this show really kind of has hit its stride. The acting's been better. The twists, the little bit of comedy we get in it, but like the drama, the stuff that the character, the woman playing Egwene did this season, top notch, unreal. The kid that plays Rand is fine as the lead, but the work Egwene's done all season has been really, really top notch and just enjoyable to watch what they've put that character through and how well she's done in that role. Because I didn't see, obviously, having not read the books, I didn't see any of that stuff coming. And I thought it was all great. The guy they recast as Matt, also fantastic.
Yep,
I
great.
think played it better than the other guy ever could have.
Yep, totally
So I
agree with you.
appreciated that.
I agree with both those points.
What they're doing with Perrin is fine. Not, I don't get the storyline they're going for there still, or where they're taking that. But I know they had to get them. You do the typical storyline thing, right? All right, there's all 5 of them for the first season all together going on this trek. All right, let's split them up and have them all develop different storylines, and then we'll bring them back together, and then we can either split them up again to start next season or go back and forth. The stuff with Maureen, because I do know, from the books that she's not technically in this book at all. But I thought they did better stuff with her and Lan than I expected, especially where they wrapped it to this episode and the closure they brought to the two of them. I thought was great, and wrapping that back around to set them up for going to the next season. Nynaeve, I had the opportunities there. I think she was very underutilized after her White Tower storyline. The rest of the year. But yeah, overall, I thought the finale was great. They blew the horn. The people came, did the thing. That was super fun. But yeah, I think Wheel of Time is one of the top shows I've seen in the last couple of years right now after this season. How do you feel about it, Frank?
It was a show. Look, I told you before, I have to try and separate myself from the books, right? To watch and enjoy the show. And if I can push the books aside for a couple of minutes and watch the show, what they did was really good. As a fantasy show, it was really well done. There are aspects from the books that they're getting really, really well done. I like the way the weaves are shown. I personally would have liked it if they colored the weaves different. A little more red for fire, white for air, blue
Right.
for water, but showing the black when the males use the power, there's a taint on the male half of the power. They really do that really well. The problems I'm finding I'm having is that they're putting things on characters that absolutely did not happen in the books. I can understand if you kind of change a little bit and go so in the books, Matt does not stab Rand with that dagger. That dagger is not on the end of his shaft. And what happens in that scene in the books is that Rand and Ishmael have this big fight and he is stabbed, but not by Matt. And that wound becomes a thing going forward.
I think the wound still will
It will.
going
I know
forward
it
the way
totally
they
will.
way they drew that out.
Rand and Elaine shared a look at the end. That was a really important moment because the two of them were supposedly have met earlier. When Rand came up and killed all of those guards, especially that big guy, Turok.
Yeah.
I forget Tuvok's from Star Trek. That's supposed to be a big fight he has with him in the books that proves he is a blade master. Because all along in the books, Lan has been teaching Rand how to use a sword and how to fight and go through.
Oh, well, we know that didn't happen in
No.
this.
No. And
look, maybe they cast the kid and we're like, "Oh, you just don't have the skill set to do this. All right, we'll give you a little bit, but not."
maybe I don't know, but I can get past some of these things. Matt stabbing Rand, I can't get past that. That was horrible. Perrin killing the guy absolutely does not happen in the books.
Yeah. Well, is Perrin even in this moment in the books?
He is. So in
Okay.
the books, all of them do end up in Fam. They all end up there. That's a whole thing. Matt does blow the horn in the books. And the heroes that come out, there's like 100 of them in the books.
Yeah.
I get for TV and for space. Uno was definitely not a hero of the Horn, but it was nice to see them put him there,
Yeah.
given what he did in the show. So I was fine with that. The lady with the bow and arrow that they showed briefly, she becomes a major, major character later in the books.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
and that's the thing, right? Like all the exposition you can do in a book for when those heroes arrive, you can describe all of them in detail in the books and where they came from and everything. In a
yes.
show, though, it's like I just need somebody to put on the screen for like 7 seconds.
And that's fine. I don't really have a problem with that. Matt getting these memories from a glass of tea is 1,000% not right. That in no way happened like that. That does happen, but a completely different way.
Yeah.
And he's fast forwarding pieces. Now they did get approved. Season 3 was already they were
Mhm.
given a 3rd season. So maybe he's fast tracking some stuff because he's not sure if he's going to be able to get to it down the line. Okay. Um, Nynaeve definitely plays a little bit of a lesser role at this point. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes on. Um, the other thing that I really had a problem with was Lan had too much exposition about the male part of the power, which he wouldn't know because he's not an Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of little nitpicky things. Pushing the books aside, it was a really good show. It was. This season 2 was 10 times better than season 1.
Yeah. I think that, and you touched on this earlier, right? I think part of the reason that I enjoyed it so much is they did such nice work with their effects.
Yes.
And we've seen so many crappy effects the
Yep.
last like couple years from just the amount of content that like Disney's trying to push through these 2 studios to do effects work for 37 projects a year. Meanwhile, whoever's working on Wheel of Time has like a couple, you know,
Yeah. Now,
and just all the effects were top notch on this show.
the last couple things I'll say is, the actress that's playing Lanfear is great. She's absolutely killing it.
Oh yeah, she's
So
fantastic.
look, they've cast a bunch of unknown actors in all these roles, and they're killing it. All of the actor I for as many problems as I have with the show, the actors and actresses are absolutely knocking the roles out of the park for what
Yeah, there's only one name actor on the whole show. Well, 2.
well, the guy that plays Tom Maryland is actually supposed to be in this part, but he's not at this point.
But like Rosamund Pike
Rosamund.
obviously is a star, and Daniel Henney, who's played Lan.
Oh god, the 2 of them and that whole thing with them at the end with the Bond redoing the Bond, like that doesn't happen in the books, but that was a great powerful moment for those 2 characters, and I
But it didn't have to in the book because they didn't break their bond the same way, right?
no, because she was never cut off from the source like that in the book.
Right.
That never happened in the book. That was more exposition done to tell them that, oh, there's a way to tie these weaves off and make them invisible because
Yeah.
that all that crap gets learned later on. And her blowing up the ships like that is whatever. Um,
But I mean, he's been in a couple
yeah.
other
Oh
things
no,
over
he's
the
great
years.
too.
I remember him from Chrono Mines. He was on there for quite a few years,
Okay.
and then he was in Big Hero 6. He was one of the voice actors in Big Hero 6.
Oh. Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
And the very last thing
He was Tadashi, who I don't know if that's the lead or who that was in Big Hero 6.
I did not see, shockingly,
Might be the older brother.
I didn't see that shockingly. Um,
It's fun.
Ishmael having all the seals, that was a little rough because that's not what the seals are. The seals hold the Dark One in his prison.
No, not the Forsaken.
No, the Forsaken were the way they buried. They bore a hole and they put the Dark One down and then covered it up with the seals, and then the Forsaken were buried just above that. And they're all around at this time in the books. Like they're all free. Like they're not. None of them are held back now. Them introducing Moghedien is really good because she's a really fun character.
I could tell. It was a blast what they did with her at
Like,
the end.
she's super evil and she's super awesome, and there's a lot of stuff that comes into play with her later down the line.
Yeah, I will say I've already enjoyed the fact that they have introduced characters as evil characters and let them be evil.
Yes, these are
Crazy.
some of the most. These are people that have been asleep for thousands of years, and they know things that the current people don't know, and
Yeah.
they're purely evil with almost no like Lanfear. They kind of towed the line a little bit, but then they were like, no, she's evil. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, the guy that plays Rand is good. He's too soft spoken and a little too dull at the moment, but
Mhm.
he's still a really good cast. And that's my spiel.
All right. So before we get into the two big ones, let me just hit my plug that I give every week for
Yes.
the Walking Dead spinoffs. So Daryl Dixon episode 5 was this week. Its finale is already coming up Sunday. If you haven't watched it and you watched any of the Walking Dead stuff, go watch it. It's just so nice to see them do quick storytelling. So, and let's say, something we're going to talk about in a minute. So this season of Daryl Dixon started off with this big mystery. It's no mystery that he ends up in France, and you have no idea how. Um, right. So that's where we have all that. But then we get in the 5th episode, we get a bunch of flashbacks as to exactly how he ended up there and what drove him to do that, and how a little bit of character development on the back end form that we haven't gotten in a few years, and then some more of him actually getting to look like a badass finally. But all
Right.
this stuff on how he got to France while we were moving the rest of the story forward. There's some people in some other franchises that can take some notes on how to do flashbacks and character development and move today's story all
Hmm.
at the same time.
Wonder if we'll talk about that.
And Dom asking in the chat about what we thought about Gen V. Hi, hey to Brandon, by the way. Sorry. Um, Also in the chat. But Dom, about Gen V so far, I am enjoying the hell out of Gen V still. It's another same example that I used earlier, right? The effects are fantastic. The storytelling is great and doing some things we don't get to see with all of the other superhero properties that we watch. So it's really nice to see them delving into more of the mental health pieces. We don't see what would really happen to people, even which we didn't really get in the boys. Even what happens to you when you develop these powers, right? Outside of getting the powers, and now you have to react to that. But what happens to the rest of your physiology when you get these powers, and what do you do with that? And from a standpoint of then how do you also deal with the fact that all of these kids know that their parents basically just had them injected, because we found that out season 3 of the boys, right? And that became public knowledge. But like now all these kids dealing with the fact that, like, hey, I wasn't born this way. My parents decided to inject something in me to get some money to see what I ended up being. So cool stuff there. They're still doing really great work with little critter. What's her name? Emma. Um, but yeah, like Dom just mentioned in the chat, he likes how the powers are tied into different disorders. Like it's really cool work that they're doing with this. And this isn't based directly on the comics, so this is an independent um piece, and how they're tying some of the things into what they did in the boys comics with Black Noir and the way that he saw the world is actually really interesting too. um Frank will get there. We'll talk more about Gen V the next few weeks. I think it's 8 episodes. We're 4 in.
Yeah,
So
I've only seen one, and I think based on the first episode, it wasn't one of these shows where I'm like, where I watch it, I'm like, all right, I'll try and get through it. No, I really am interested in watching this.
yeah, look, you powered through 3 episodes of Wheel of Time, so I'm good with the progress you made the last week. But yeah, Gen V's only 30 minutes.
Pete, you didn't miss much. We didn't
Oh,
even
you got here just in time.
yeah, we didn't even get to Ahsoka yet.
Do you want to go Loki or Ahsoka first?
Well, actually, I want to jump over to DC real fast.
Oh, I've heard of DC.
There is I pulled this up on Variety because I saw it in a couple different places now. I want to take a couple minutes really fast and sidetrack over to this. Aquaman 2 flooded with drama. Jason Momoa allegedly drunk on set. Amber Heard scenes cut. Elon Musk's letter to WB and more. Have you even seen any of this?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I'll breeze through this as quickly as I can. Apparently, there's some court documents were released from the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial. They surfaced on Reddit. What happened was these are documents from Heard's therapist, Dr. Dawn Hughes. Some Johnny Depp fans paid the court fees for the release of the documents. The raw notes are scribbled on a legal pad, and they describe a hostile Aquaman set where allegedly an intoxicated Jason Momoa dressed like Johnny Depp and pushed to have Amber Heard booted from the role. According to allegedly Amber Heard, Jason Momoa was showed up on showed up drunk to the set in December, dressed like Johnny Depp, wearing all the rings and everything, looking just like him.
I mean, that's just how Jason Momoa dresses when
Uh,
he's not Aquaman, though.
Now, Jason Momoa's spokesperson refuted this stuff and said how hard he works and blah, blah, blah. Amber Heard also said that James Wan treated her like a pariah because of her high-profile legal battle with her ex-husband. He would raise his voice to her, made sure that she didn't post about Aquaman. Again, James Wan declined to comment. The DC spokesperson said that James is known for treating members of his cast and crew with the utmost respect.
Wasn't Jason going through a divorce at the same time with Lisa Bonet?
I think maybe.
I feel like that was all around the same time because I mean, the movie filmed like 2 years ago.
Following Aquaman's release in 2018, the studio and Wan decided to drop the actress from the sequel due to her lack of chemistry with Momoa. We had heard about this all through the trial. Former DC Films boss Walter Hamada testified in the trial about the issue of chemistry. Ultimately, the studio never pulled the trigger on firing her because, allegedly, her former boyfriend, Elon Musk, had one of his litigators send a scorched earth letter to Warner Brothers threatening to burn the house down if the actress wasn't brought back for a sequel. Now, according to other stuff...
Look, I don't know that she will get paid any less than she already did for how much she's in the movie or not in the movie.
Right. Now, according to other documents, none of Zack Snyder's Justice League are coming back for any more appearances in any of James Gunn's stuff going forward. That's Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller,
and Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa is not coming back as Aquaman, but will reportedly come back as Lobo.
Look, Jason Momoa is not a whole lot younger than Dave Bautista. Just saying.
I'm just telling you.
I
but
know.
None of them will be at all. Jason is supposedly in talks to play Lobo in either the 2025 Superman Legacy reboot or in a standalone film. But Viola Davis is coming back.
Actually, I lied. Jason Momoa is 10 years younger than Dave Bautista.
Okay. But so all of this stuff was coming out. And then the final little thing is there's a rumor that within 2 years, Universal is going to buy Warner Brothers, which I haven't looked into that yet. So
I don't know how that direction works, but okay.
That's something that we'll look into for another show down the road because I didn't want to spend a ton of time on that. But I found that right before we went on, I had a little bit of time to look at stuff,
I don't know why. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Same as look, and we'll dig into some more stuff with the Aquaman things because there's some other plot rumors that if you read the comics, that they probably tried to do in the movie, and it sounds like got rewritten out. So we'll see.
Yeah.
How that goes, because when Jeff Johns took over the Aquaman comic, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, it got super dark, but made the character really interesting, but got really dark.
So do you want to do the Loki thing, and then we'll save the Ahsoka for the end because I think we're both gonna kind of high five each other on the Ahsoka thing.
Sure. Look, Loki. So Loki's back. Spoilers for Loki if you haven't watched it in the last week. Frank and I had the opportunity to go see it last Monday night, but said no, we want to come talk to all of you. So we did, and then we waited with everybody else to watch Loki, and boy, it was another episode that I don't know why Loki's the star, but we got some stuff. It was I thought it was cool how it pulled right out of last last season all the way. Hey, what do you mean it's this going on? And then throughout the course of the episode, you find out that that was in the past what we got last time, which is why nobody knew Loki.
Right.
And now we're time slash multiverse jumping, or is there not a
Time
multiverse anymore? And there's just time now.
it seems like it's time slipping, but I really feel like this TV show, this episode alone set up Kang way better than Ant-Man did. The dread of Kang coming, there was a lot more terror in Loki knowing what's coming than there was in Ant-Man when they actually faced him.
Well, we don't know how long it's been. We know it's been a long time when he's
Right.
doing the flashbacks, right?
Yeah.
But we don't know how long
No, we don't.
that has actually been. So Kang may have come and gone.
It's true.
Um, what I did find interesting with that is this was the first time this show has actually done the premise that it promised us at the beginning of season 1, which was a time traveling adventure with Loki.
Yes.
This is the first time we've actually gotten time travel.
Yes, it is.
And it looks like this season will finally do all the things that season 1 was supposed to do that looked super fun.
And what's funny is that the director that was so highly regarded from season isn't back for season 2.
No.
Same
showrunner though, isn't it? In Waldron still.
Forget Kate Herron was the director and writer of the first season.
Yeah.
She's not back for this season. She didn't come back. It's Benson and Moorhead. Dan Deleu, and Kasra Farahani.
Got it.
Were directors.
I thought Kehu Kwan was great.
Oh, he was absolutely awesome.
Oh no, we're not official press, Dom. So Dom asked how many episodes we get to see early. We are not like the official press, and they all got to see 4.
Yeah, no,
that was the early drop to critics.
Episode 1 did hit 10.9 million views, which is really, really good for Disney. It's like the best a Disney show has done in quite a while for Marvel.
Yeah, they said they were waiting for Frank to drop his Marvel show rankings on a YouTube clip, and then they were going to send us the other 3 episodes.
They're coming.
We'll get Disney. When they called us last week, I said, "Hello, this is Mr. Disney."
They're coming within 2 weeks, guaranteed. Stone cold block, guaranteed.
Got it.
Like my fantasy football team.
Hey, I'm 5-0, baby.
I'm 3-1. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the episode. It actually felt like there were stakes. It felt like there were. I mean, look, we know he's gonna kind of move on into you got 6 more episodes, 7 more episodes, right? It's 8.
5, 6,
something like that, right?
Hard to say. I feel like it's only 6.
Probably. I don't see how many, but anyway, I mean, I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it.
6.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, season 1 was 6, season 2 6.
We'll see what happens.
Look, I thought the acting and the writing were better this episode than anything we got in season 1.
Okay. And
I'm excited to see where it goes forward because anybody that's listened to the show has heard me just rail on the writing for Marvel. Like the writing has just gone to shit since Endgame.
It has.
Ever since they got rid of Marcus Feely, it's been awful. And that hurts all of these products. Like when your writing's bad, there's only so much you can do in fanfare and special effects to make up for it.
Yep.
So I'm hoping it keeps that trend going. I thought the end credits tag with Sylvie was fine.
Yeah.
It was cute. It was how they got their tie-in to what's the special sauce they dropped at McDonald's. But the problem was they dropped all the promos at McDonald's like 2 months ago.
Right.
So like I don't even remember it. It would have been cool to tie it in directly with it.
Yeah.
Instead of so early. But I guess because that was probably the original release date. And tell you what, McDonald's probably doesn't stop for shit.
Nah, they don't care.
When Loki's like, we're gonna drop later. They're like, you do you. Yep. We're gonna release your soy sauce, whatever, Szechuan Rick and Morty sauce during
Yep.
Because we are definitely just still in Rick and Morty world with this show.
Yeah, a little bit. The other thing from Marvel, Daredevil Born Again, July 2025 now. It's
Oh
gonna
my
be
god.
18 episodes, and the strike helped delay it, but, you know,
2025?
January 2025.
Oh, January 2025.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have seen 3 episodes of Echo by then, so that's fine.
Hey, Charlie Cox will only be 42. He's still able to do it.
Oh, you had some Ironheart news too, didn't you?
Yeah, that's out. That's done. Delayed, like, to be determined, kind
Yeah.
of.
Did you get your Marvels tickets?
No, not yet.
Yeah, they dropped yesterday.
Yeah, I gotta. The softball thing was pushed to this Saturday, so I gotta see how I'm feeling after hockey. Um, so I gotta kind of figure out how I'm gonna fit the Marvels in. That
I
comes
mean, it
out
doesn't
when?
come out for a month.
Yeah, but I have Disney coming up in a month. I'm actually
Mm.
1 month and 3 days away from Disney now.
So that is 4 days after the Marvels come out.
When?
I think they drop November 9th is when this movie comes out.
Oh, I'm not gonna be home on November 9th. My friend's turning 50, and we're
Mm.
doing something.
Well,
But,
you're gonna have
but,
to figure it out, Frank.
but,
Otherwise, Dom's gonna come and guest star in that episode.
go ahead. I'll watch it from
We'll
Florida.
talk about the Marvels.
I also, um, forgot what I was gonna say, so there's that.
You also love Ahsoka so much that you want to talk about it now.
Okay. We're gonna come back around to Ahsoka. So if you missed the
Remember,
finale, you're lucky.
if you haven't caught us in a few weeks and you only saw Frank talk about the first 4 episodes of Ahsoka, my, how the times have changed.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
So I'll let you go first. I went first the last couple things. I want to hear all of your glowing endorsements of the Ahsoka
I
finale.
I finished Ahsoka, and I literally looked at my TV and I went, "What the fuck?" Like, that's where I was. It was a what happened? Like, why? How did we get here? I don't know. Like, it's let me I understand what he's doing. It took me a couple of days to look through some stuff and read through some stuff, and I understand what he's trying to do. I think.
Because that's what you need in your TV.
Well,
So let me go
if
read a dozen articles to
look,
figure out.
if you didn't watch Rebels and you didn't watch the Clone Wars, you have no clue what's going on.
Oh, this show
You're
was
like Jack
awful
watching
for
Wheel
you.
of Time, hopefully, and enjoying it. But I don't think you are
Aren't,
because you don't know what's going on.
would you enjoy it?
No,
I mean,
maybe,
at least Wheel of Time gave you backstory on everybody.
maybe. Like,
This just assumes that you know everything that's going on with all of these characters for their entire lives.
there's going to be an episode. There's going to be a season 2. The Twitter account posted series finale and changed it to season finale.
Great.
Okay, they have to give you a season 2 because we don't know what the f is going on.
No, maybe the season 2 will be 3 episodes of flashbacks to explain to us what happened the other way.
Please,
Because we did get one line from our friendly neighborhood droid.
what's line?
Still the best Doctor Who. Um, of Sabine was going down a dark path.
Right, and
That was that was your explanation for why for 10 years she got trained and then didn't. But I also don't really know when the fall of Mandalore was, because that's vague. But I feel like it was longer ago than they're making out that Sabine and
I,
Ahsoka were
I
partnered up.
we have racked our brains trying to figure out the timeline of this thing, and I keep looking stuff up and going, well, they say this, this, and this, and you're like, yeah, but this, and this, and I'm like, okay, that's wrong. How about this, and this? Nope, nope. There were some good parts in this thing. There really were.
Pete loved it, by the way. Just want to point this out.
The only problem I had with Ahsoka was why were the Night Sisters helping Thrawn? Then it was answered in the last episode. Okay, good. That right. Ezra was good. If you watched Rebels, you understood that portrayal. He nailed it
Yeah.
from Rebels. But if you didn't watch Rebels, you just got a bearded guy that might be a Jedi, but no, okay.
Doesn't want to use a lightsaber until he can make his own. Then
But he
it's
made his
cool.
but he made his own, and it's just like Kanan's, but who the hell's Kanan? Well, Kanan, okay, it's just like
No, it's Caleb Dune.
Well,
which
whatever.
made it even more confusing. If you knew
Right.
Kanan Jarrus, but you were like, "No, well,
Like,
Caleb. What?
Caleb.
Who?"
Oh, who's that? Look,
You all watched Rebels last month, so you remember all the names and all the things, right?
they did some good things. The fights were good. The fights were good, except for weirdly when they shot from behind our heroes, it seemed like it was in slow motion. Like they were just kind of like doing like, yeah, but when they were like shooting from in front of them, they were like wing, 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 and it was okay.
Yeah.
We finally got the zombie stormtroopers because apparently they weren't zombie stormtroopers before, and now they are.
Because most people, after fighting a huge battle and having a very limited amount of time to get somewhere, stop and fold their arms and all look over their handiwork of killing all of these stormtroopers. Which we were anti killing people like the day before. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
Um, I think the other, and then give them time to get reincarnated and be like, oh, what's going on there? Oh, we already fought Merrick. That's right. We know what's going on there. Let's run. Um, I think the problem with the way the show handled Thrawn is if you didn't read the books, more of the books even than Rebels.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have all of that backstory on Thrawn, he just kind of seemed like a guy that thinks he's smarter than everybody, but isn't. Because like if you're that smart with Thrawn, you send 2 TIE fighters to fail when you could have sent 20.
I think he sent the two on purpose because that were supposed to fail. That was supposed to be a delay enough for him to get away.
Right, but why does he delay instead of just overpowering them and getting rid of them? Like
Because
that is a big bad to me. Like if Sabine, Ezra, or Ahsoka had actually like had a consequence, now that makes Thrawn into a big bad. This doesn't do anything to enhance Thrawn as a big bad other than, hey, he conned this woman into getting this cool sword that if you knew Star Wars Clone Wars mythology, knew the sword he gave her was Darth Maul's mom's sword. Ooh, because that's something that we needed.
which
Um,
Ahsoka now has.
no, it broke.
Did it break?
I thought it
Oh,
broke.
her lightsaber broke.
Oh yeah,
She
but
kept the sword.
we've also established now that everything can break a lightsaber. So
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Between the dark saber and the lightsaber, they're not made like they used
No,
to be. I don't
apparently
know.
not.
Um,
Depending on what time period we're in.
but yeah, like you said, I thought the fights were the actual fights themselves were well executed. But it goes back to again like just some story, man. Just write some dialogue for these people to actually talk and explain what's going on,
Did
or like
you
have some kind of motivation.
did you have any problem with number 1, all 400 of those cannons missing everyone as they rode up to the base?
Oh my God, it was ridiculous.
Okay. Did you have any problem with Sabine all of a sudden being able to force push Ezra that far after just opening
Super
the
lazy
portal?
plot device.
Like, I expected her to force pull the saber and do the Luke moment from when he was hanging upside down and
Yeah, we
Han
all knew
Solo,
that
like,
was going
that
to
was
happen.
fine. I'm cool with that. But then all of a sudden now she's like, "Oh, I can do this." Like, maybe it's confidence, I don't know.
And,
Um,
and then we get the great moment at the end again with Ezra and Hera, and it's, hey, girl.
right. Like, I
Like,
get
why would you wear that to get off the plane? I don't like.
so so if you watched Rebels, you know that he liked dressing up as stormtroopers. But if you're getting off, if you're getting off in a in what could be a hostile environment, would you not have the helmet off when you came off the ship to
Right,
be like, "Hey!"
right. Like, would
Right.
you? It's,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I get the
And
dramatic.
and our brilliant tactician didn't notice that a ship took off from the Chimera.
That's another thing. I
Like,
like
come on.
he was able to kill one of his guards and get in a suit and be okay. Like, I get it. That was a plot device in Rebels, and it worked all the time in Rebels. But I don't know.
Yeah, again, it's one of those. It doesn't create any kind of
No, not
threat
at all.
from Thrawn to
Not at
anybody.
all.
It's like, okay, oh, they're going to Dathomir, great. But like, if you
But
didn't watch all of Clone Wars, You have no idea what Dathomir is.
No. Why
And
are
it
they at
doesn't matter to you at all.
Nope, why are they at that red planet? This would have been a great time for there to be little words at the bottom of the screen saying Dathomir. That would have helped.
Well, or saying Dathomir and like giving you like um uh not even 2 minutes, like a 60-second clip of back in the day and showing the Night Sisters with Darth Maul and Savage Opress, and like why does Dathomir matter? What's the deal with it? And like when they think about their glory days of Dathomir, right? Or you get bring back the glory of Dathomir and you see flashbacks to the glory of Dathomir.
Right.
Would have been super cool. And look, they have the money. They took 4 years to releasing this damn thing. Like,
Now, before I get to this other thing I have about Ahsoka, the the the, the ending for Balin was great. That's the last thing they have for him shot wise in Star Wars. That was good. It was a really good scene. I understand that they're gonna go with the father, son, and daughter thing. That's where Filoni seems to be going with it.
sure.
That's where he was going. Um, I you know, the daughter's head was broken off because supposedly that's Ahsoka. The father is supposedly Anakin, which again, you don't know any of this unless you watched Clone Wars because it was a very
Oh, well, those 3 episodes of Clone Wars, because it
great,
wasn't even like a through
right.
through
And
through
they were
line.
and they
But
were
the owl that we got in this episode is the daughter
is yes.
who is
The
tied to
daughter
Ahsoka, is right. So like again, it's sometimes these guys get too wrapped up in the nostalgia and the Easter eggs to
yeah,
just tell me a goddamn story.
right. Um,
Like we needed like 3 episodes of Ahsoka to tell this story. We did not need 8 or however many it was.
no, it just there was no exposition for any of what was going on. It was literally almost like what Marvel's doing is like for this movie, you need to have watched these 5 shows and
Yeah.
this other movie. And that's what Ahsoka was worse because it's like read these books, watch 100 and plus episodes of this and 80 or so episodes or however many Rebels was.
Yeah.
So this real fast is these are 10 theories debunked by the season finale, which is really cool.
I bet they were all good theories that were way
Uh,
better than anything they put on the screen for us.
it might be.
Did you play the Galaxies games? Pete's mentioning Dathomir was big in the Galaxies game.
Well, I didn't play the Galaxies games, but Dathomir was a big level in the first Jedi Fallen Order, the Cal Kestis game. It was
Mhm.
hard as hell.
Yeah, and look, and I mean that ties it in too. But like they're like you said, they're assuming that you touch every aspect of the franchise, and if you haven't already touched every aspect of the franchise, too bad for you.
No,
Go do it, and then come back and watch my show.
right, which is a little weird.
Which it'd be fine if it was a movie and it was only 2.5 hours of my life, but it's already
Right.
8 hours of my life to watch this damn show. Now I got to watch
So
another
excited for this.
800 hours of other stuff.
All right, here's the 10 theories debunked by the finale. Number 10, Grand Admiral Thrawn's troops were all undead. They were not at first.
No, and they're still not. It was just the select few.
Correct. Number 9, Balin would unleash a dark side being. Maybe he will. We'll never know now.
Oh, I
What
mean,
if they
look,
recast
they're gonna recast him.
Liv Schreiber?
I saw that. Look, and the story ending with him and Civ, what's her name?
Shin.
Shin, made no sense.
Well, that's number 8. Shin Hati would be redeemed by the end of Ahsoka. She's not. She's now leading a band of mercenaries.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense why like he pushed her away as his apprentice,
Yeah.
and like at least they didn't try and redeem her, and all of a sudden she fought with Ahsoka against Thrawn at the end. Like at least they didn't do that.
Number 7, Thrawn was not really loyal to the Empire. Of course he was.
I
That was a
that was a theory that he
that was
wasn't.
a theory that he was not really loyal
Oh,
to the Empire.
that's dumb.
Another theory was that there would be a major character death. A lot of people were saying
Should
that
have been.
Yang would have died. I'm glad they didn't kill him, but yeah, somebody should have gotten more than yeah.
It's Star Wars. Somebody's due to lose a hand.
One of the other one of the other theories was at number 5 here is a full Ghost Crew reunion, which we did not get.
No Zeb.
No
Like what a
Zeb.
waste.
I yeah, I don't
At least see, and
if
for Rebels people, it would have been even cooler to see Zeb deliver that message from Princess Leia than
Correct.
C-3PO. And
Correct.
you know they have the
Sure.
CGI for it, or have him come with 3PO.
There was another theory that said that Balin would use the world between worlds. He did not.
Thank God.
That
It's because
Leia,
Anakin lives there now and he's scared of him.
yes, that Leia would be that Leia would make a cameo. I'm kind of glad she didn't, but again, we had talked about this last week. They have to recast those characters if they're going to stay in this time period,
Yeah,
which seems to last forever.
it really does.
Number two, Ahsoka would receive her staff,
What?
the staff that she already had
Oh,
at the
well,
end of
she could.
Rebels that she already
Yeah.
and number one, that there would be a Mandalorian crossover. No, but there will be probably in Mandalorian season 4. They're going to definitely cross some stuff over, and we'll probably get 2 episodes bringing Ahsoka back if they even do come back. I don't,
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe she doesn't come back. Maybe her and Sabine stay there.
Depends on how many years out Filoni wants to film this movie.
I that is that.
Because
Yeah.
we're looking at like 2030.
I mean,
Which I think the problem is
they'll
with a
probably
lot of
talk
these
about
things,
Star
right?
Wars
So
in
like
50 years.
even if I'm a Marvel fan, right, and we're planning out 6-7 years in the future, like that's a different generation of fan,
It is.
right? Like if we're planning out for this Filoni movie, it's not going to be in 2 years, it's not going to be 3 years, it's not going to be 4 years even at this point, right? So
Probably 5 years out at minimum.
at least, right? Because you need multiple more seasons of TV to get there, and maybe not, because Star Wars doesn't give a shit about any of that like story or any of that kind of stuff. So
We have a Ray movie coming.
maybe, I mean, Daisy Ridley is going to be 700 years old by the time we get any of that stuff. But like, it's a different fan generation. The generations turn over way faster now. So so what do you do? Like, live Marvel, right? So Marvel's only been out 15 years now, right? What do you do if you're a teenager or a 20-year-old that wants to get into Marvel? You know how much content you got to watch just to have the door open for you? And Star Wars is about the same way now. Star Wars is actually probably almost as bad because of the number of TV shows there've been. And all the because Marvel blows off the comics a lot, right? But there's so much
Oh,
canon now for Star Wars.
Marvel's not bad. It's only 32 movies and 9 shows.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, they're all like 45-minute episode shows.
Yeah, they are.
So, right. So, and then 2-hour movies, we'll say, right? So there's 100 hours of content minimum that you have to watch to be
Yep,
caught up on that. That's a lot.
it
I
is.
mean, there's more than that for Star Wars now because of all the shows. Pete is asking about the Filoni Thrawn movie, keeps hearing about. So back at Celebration, you may have turned it off after some of their other announcements about the more the sequels and how they're carrying on that timeline, Pete. But they did announce that Filoni is doing a. Did they say it was Heir to the Empire? I think it
They
is. I think they announced the name of
hold
his
on.
movie is going to be Heir to the Empire.
The film will close out the stories told on The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and other related series on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So it's going to be in the New Republic era timeline, and it's going to be some type of Heir to the Empire type movie. That's going
Yeah,
to
and that was all announced.
everything, in. And then we can start all over again.
So that's where we're at with all of this stuff.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
So yeah, look, so the show had a lot of misses.
Yeah.
Some of the lightsaber stuff was cool, but I just the writing was not strong enough to carry a full length live action show. And I
No.
think that starts to show Filoni phenomenal at the animated runs, right? And that kind of storytelling in a 22-minute. I don't really have to tell any story because it's animated and I have like 60 episodes this season. So I can drag shit out but like when you need to be concise.
Yep.
And you need to tell a coherent story with exposition on a lot of things you're trying to bring in.
He
And
wrote
let's not talk
all.
about like it's TV show, not a movie, right?
Yep.
It's still how many episodes? 8?
It was 8.
8. So we'll say 40 minutes an episode. It's
About that.
still 2 feature-length films worth.
Right, and he didn't give me feature length
No.
film dialogue at all, and he's the one that wrote all this, which, hey, let's just hope season 4 The Mandalorian's gonna be better.
Yeah, and when they talk about, like, a movie to end it, I'm like, "Wait, but you need 3 hours to end it when you just gave me 6 hours?" Like,
Of what?
I don't understand. Like, why
You really didn't give me 6 hours of much. You gave me
No, but, like, in general, like, even the Mandalorian seasons, they're, maybe 5 hours, 4 and a half
I
probably of actual content.
I would say out of all the Ahsoka shows, we got maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of fan service total,
Oh, at
and the
least.
rest of it was just kind of plodding along.
Yeah, not giving you any storyline that you needed to
Oh,
actually understand what was going on. Yeah, I feel and I haven't listened to it yet, I'm intrigued to hear Fat Man Beyond's review because, as huge of Star Wars fans as they both are, and Kevin's a fanboy of everything, but Mark Bernard, not a fanboy. So again, I haven't listened to it yet, but even the first couple episodes, he's like, "I didn't watch Rebels and I didn't watch Clone Wars. I have no idea who the fuck these people are." He's like, "And I don't know why I should care."
fair enough.
And it's great to introduce new characters, and I think this would have been a great opportunity to introduce a bunch of new characters.
Yep,
But then they had to tie them all into all this other shit
give me some
from
backstory.
right, like tie it together in a way that if I walked in, and I think I've said it before on here, it's Stan Lee's premise, right? Like every comic book might be somebody's first comic book, right? Every Star Wars show might be somebody's first Star Wars show. Did you do the job of pulling them into Star Wars by watching this?
I don't
N-
think you did here.
No. And I think these guys need to go back to the basics of thinking about that. Like, did I do what I need to do? If is can this be an entryway?
You
And
know
like
what's
this show
funny?
definitely not.
That's one thing that real fast in Talkville, another one of your favorite podcasts, that Tom Welling has said is that when he grades the episodes, he looks at it as if I wanted to promote this show for someone to watch, is this an episode I would say, look at this episode to kind of grasp the show. And there's a bunch of them where they're not good
No,
episodes.
but they also had 218 episodes.
Yes, they did. They had 24, 22, 24 episode seasons.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all I got.
So yeah, so hey, if you're in the lower Bucks area, I'm local all weekend. At Wilson's Friday, I'm at Andalusia Bar, dependent on how the Phillies are doing by then. But you can check all that out at jackkidmusic.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're listening on the stream, thanks as always for downloading and subscribing. Tell a friend, have them subscribe too, and they can always join in the conversation on the social media or right here live in the chat every ish Monday at 7. Hey, thanks for finding the Geek Spot with us. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye bye.